Getting to Nick Nurse, who I think is not just the best acquisition for the Sixers, even though we've had plenty of great talent added to this team. I think he's the best acquisition in the entire NBA for any singular team.
Mm-hmm.
What he has done to this Sixers team, specifically the players that were already here. And this is a perfect example of why you can't just judge a team off of its roster, or you can't judge a player. Kelly Oubre, a 20-point per game scorer, like
Yeah.
he was always a decent, nice rotation piece. You know, I know when he had a hard time in Golden State, he couldn't hit a shot, and then made his bones down there in Charlotte, and became a person that people have noticed. But I mean, to see what he is now, I mean, he's going to earn himself a contract, and that's why
Big
hopefully
time.
we get him. Hopefully we get this ring this year, because I don't know if we're going to be able to afford him like going into the future, depending on what the Sixers got planned. So, but sticking with Nick Nurse, what have you seen from him specifically that you like most about what he has changed about this team?
Yeah, number one is just ball movement and player movement. The off ball movement has been the biggest thing that under the Doc Rivers system, the Doc Rivers mindset was very clearly that he made the adjustment to slide Joel Embiid up to the elbow and then basically space the floor with shooters around. And the debate being there and the mindset there being you either leave Joel Embiid one on one and he scores every time, at which he led the NBA in scoring the past 2 seasons, or you bring a double and we find a kick to the open 3-point shooter. And the Sixers did rank number one in 3-point percentage across the NBA last year. And while in theory that's a mindset that works, it just becomes far too predictable. And you can do different layers defensively to just kind of mix that up. With this new Nick Nurse system, there's guys flying off ball, making back cuts, setting screens to free up guys off ball in ways that we just have not seen. We're seeing a growth from each of these players, including Joel Embiid, including Tyrese Maxey. All these guys as playmakers because there's easier passes for them to make. It's not asking a guy to create his own pass. There's simply a guy open that you just have to get the ball to. So there's been much more of that. Guys feel like they know what to do in a way that I didn't feel was the case under Doc, that there was a lot of ISO ball and just freestyling out there. Like it feels like they're looking for cutters with the intent of I know a guy is going to be there. And I thought it was going to take much longer than this into the season for the guys to get on the same page. But a ton of credit to Nick Nurse and a ton of credit to these guys for buying in because there just is much more of a schematic and stylistic identity with this team that was not there before.
As I'm taking quick glances at the game, it just, to me, seems like the Sixers aren't hitting the shots, the wide open shots that we've been hitting. It's first quarter, they can heat up, but the main thing that I like specifically from Joel Embiid, and you mentioned it, besides ball movement, attacking.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid did a lot of just standing at the 3-point line last year, jacking up bad shots, a lot of ISO ball, as you said. I like that this team runs their play, and whoever the play is called for attacks. Joel Embiid is getting the ball, couple dribbles, and he's going to the rim. He is the biggest, most athletic big. Nobody can stop him. I was like, he's more Shaq than he realizes. Yeah. Nobody's going to stop you, man. Like, why are you playing up top like you're Brandon Roy or somebody? Like, if you don't doing crossovers and stuff and hitting fadeaway jumpers, like, go to the rim. And this year I've noticed specifically, especially that 48-point game he had the other day against Washington, he was just attacking those boys. Like, nobody can stop that. And not just him, Tobias Harris, coming from LA, one of the best mid-range guys we had, one of the best mid-range attacking forwards in the NBA. And he stopped doing that here. Now, to his credit, he has been asked to do a bunch of things here. And I can imagine him losing himself a little bit. But Nick Nurse, knowing what he had, I know when Nick Nurse, when he first came here, and he specifically mentioned Tobias Harris, not, couldn't wait to coach. When people asked him, what could you wait to coach? People were expecting James Harden or Tyrese. He said, yeah, Joel Embiid, of course, Tobias Harris, because he knows that's valuable, what he brings. Very happy to see Tobias attacking more. Joel Embiid attacking. Tyrese Maxey's always been an attacker, but not waiting for a play and guys standing in the corner waiting for James Harden or Joel Embiid to maybe pass it to him. And now you're ice cold with no rhythm. Nick Nurse is very good in getting his guys in rhythm. That's why I'm not worried. Like right now, this time last year, I'd be worried about us not making shots early in the game. But nope, we play so fast, we play so loose, and everybody's moving around. People will get warmed up. I'm sure the Sixers are feeling what we're feeling. It's the Celtics. It is our biggest test. Little nerves are in home. The Celtics kind of have had our number the last couple of years. I'm sure there's a lot of that mental. A lot of this stuff is mental, but no pun intended, trust the process here. Trust what you've been doing to get you to 5-1. Easily could have been 6-1 if it wasn't for Joel Embiid having butterfingers late in that Milwaukee game on a couple of those possessions. And you easily could be undefeated right now. So just stick to what got you here. The Celtics are deep. They're one of the top teams in the NBA. So obviously I wasn't expecting it to be easy, but I like having Furkan Korkmaz, everybody being involved deep into the, I mean, we could legit go 12 deep if we wanted to. So I'm excited, and we're not even scratching the surface. I'm very excited for KJ Martin. I loved him in Houston. He gives me a lot of Matisse Thybulle vibes in terms of his athleticism, transition. Obviously defensively, I'm not comparing them to defensively, but I'm saying style wise, I think they're very similar. And so I can't wait to see how we integrate him a little bit more. I feel like we've seen more Jaden Springer in these first couple games than we did all of the Doc Rivers. I don't know what the hell Doc Rivers was looking at. Jaden Springer can play. He can play. Go ahead.
Doc Rivers was very much a check the birth certificate, and if you're under 21, you're not seeing the court. And that was the story with Jaden Springer. I will say, to stick up for not for Doc, but for I guess the Springer thing, is I do think he benefited from just playing the extra basketball at the G League. He's a kid that came into the NBA at 18 years old and just wasn't quite ready from that standpoint. He's definitely taken some leaps this year, which is exciting. But yeah, I'm curious how Nurse kind of cuts down this rotation, because it's awesome to have this flexibility and be able to go 12 deep to switch things up on a night-to-night basis. But the end of the day is somebody's going to have to get the short end of the stick on some of these things. Tonight is a night where I'm definitely going to be paying attention to what rotations he goes with, who are the guys. I'm surprised we're seeing some first quarter Furkan Korkmaz minutes out here. So it looks like Furk has a real chance to prove himself, and I am happy for the resurgence of him. He's a guy who's had periods of time where he's looked very good and can play. So cool to see a little bit of resurgence. He brings a little playmaking along with the shooting, and he's competed defensively. That this Nick Nurse system has made life easier for guys on defense, that it's way less one-on-one stand up and play your man, that there's much more blitzing, trapping, guys running all over the place. It's hectic for opponents. It's forcing turnovers. We're seeing way more deflections than have been in the past, and Furkan's fitting right into that. So all these athletic wings, these switchable guys, this is the first time in my entire lifetime that we have an abundance of wings to surround these guys. And that's very clearly, I think, the system the Sixers are going with, is you have Joel Embiid, you have Tyrese Maxey, and let's just get as many switchable shooters around them.
Yeah, I do love the rotations that we have. You could tell he's still trying to figure out who's complementing who or who's better with who. Again, going 10 deep at times, outside of garbage time, he's cleared the bench out, obviously in garbage minutes, but even like you said, Furkan Korkmaz early minutes, in the halfway through the first quarter, and that Roko's playing already. It's just it's nice to see some of these new guys. I saw there was a Marcus Morris sighting the other day, so I can't wait to see when he gets a little acclimated, and Batum, who spent the first couple days away. Obviously, Nick Nurse holds him in high regard because he's playing already big early minutes for the team. It was nice to see him. I was excited about him from the jump. I think he will fill the role that Al Horford was supposed to fill. A lot of people thought he would come and do here, and I think Batum kind of fits that mold a little bit better. I'm trying to see where we're at here. Look at Rocco flirting with the female ref. Good for you, bud. Nick Nurse, culture-wise, to me, putting players in a position to succeed, to me, has been the biggest thing. Believing in other players. Doc believed in James, and he believed in Embiid, and it seemed like that was it. It seemed like he had Tyrese on a little bit of a leash. Tyrese wasn't allowed to be free unless Embiid or Harden weren't there for whatever reason. So you definitely see a lot of what we see of Tyrese now. You basically only saw that last year when it was him in the second and sometimes third unit, right? Sometimes it just wasn't with him. He was kind of just running around, and he got a lot of his stuff in transition where he had to kind of make a steal to get his own basket. But this year, definitely the biggest change is, hey, Tyrese, you're and Joel Embiid has even said it. Hey, I'm the process. Tyrese is the franchise. It's his, we're going with him, and I'm here to help him out, which is nice to see from a leader like Joel Embiid. Obviously, that's not true, but to me, that's different. A different Joel Embiid as have we seen in the past, where he's openly like, he didn't do that even when Jimmy Butler was here. He was like, yeah, me and Jimmy, like, we're together. He definitely didn't do that when Ben was here, and even when James was here, it was still a little bit of my team. And I'm kind of curious of when all that fell apart. James Harden famously didn't go to Joel Embiid's wedding, things of that nature. He's going to him and PJ Tucker going to parties instead of going to Joel Embiid's like baby shower and shit. Like, it's things like that. If you don't pay attention because the Sixers were winning at the time, but after the fact, you can kind of see where that all fell apart. So